I just read like the first half of the Final War arc, and now this is a fucking war. This is what I've been fucking waiting for. This is what I wanted. No fucking little skirmishes here and there, like with the last arc, with all little clashes. Things like this is a war. This is what I'm talking about. I love the 1v1 brawls, the 24/7 jumping. This is what I'm here for. It's so well organized. It's so like, let's do it. Let's get into it. And oh my god. I have been waiting for this, and I'm ready to talk about it. Let's dive into My Hero Academia Final War arc. The first few chapters, it's kind of like set up, like before like the big clashes, you know? It's all about like how everything's going to go down, the plans, the tactics, everything like that. They're going to set up the villains with teleportation, how they're using the school and the battlegrounds to like set up each specific fight, Monomo's betrayal, who's going to be fighting who. All of that is being said early on so that we don't have to worry about it later. Because there's a typical thing with My Academia where they have a pattern of during the fights have flashbacks here and there, which isn't a bad thing, but like, for me personally, I like to have the fights go in the flow. In Jujutsu Kaisen, most of the fights are just straight up just that fight. There's no extra flashbacks, there's no cutting away. It's the fight. And it goes so well. Like, it keeps your eyes focused and you don't lose momentum. Because momentum, in my opinion, is everything. The higher the momentum, the higher the feeling you get. It's like a good investment when the fights are just happening non-stop. Like, for instance, if you watch like a hand-to-hand fight from a live-action movie, there's no cutaway. Because when you cut away, you're abruptly ending what's going on in the brain. You're stopping that momentum. And then when you bring the fight back, it's like, it could work, but yeah, your transitions, your build up back to that fight have to be good. And honestly, manga doesn't really have a good series of getting back into a fight with good transitions. They really don't. But My Hero Academia decided for this final arc to not do any cutaways, not do any flashbacks, so that we can just have our eyes straight on the fight. And with All For One and Shigaraki there, best believe me, all eyes were on them 24/7. What I really like with, we're going to start with All For One. All For One, he's just a menace. I don't really like him. I don't really care for him. He's just a menace. Shigaraki is more of a impenetrable wall, while All For One is more of a unstoppable force, right? So All For One can still be beaten, but how? Endeavor has the firepower. Endeavor has the firepower to beat him. And Hawks has the speed to get a hold of him. And so that was a plan. But Hawks, he doesn't have all the wings anymore because of the last fight. He got fucked up. He can't get all that shit back. He don't got the same speed. So All For One was able to get the edge. And what I really like is the fact that it wasn't like, oh, All For One was like, oh, these guys can't touch me. They're just too weak. They're not all might. They're not Deku. They just cannot touch me. No, this nigga knew Endeavor could beat him. That's why he was mental manipulation on Endeavor. He making Endeavor be like, oh, you know, your son, you never spawned in that fire, right? You know why? Because I took him. That fucked Endeavor up. That made him fucking heated. That made him angry. And it made me get the fucking insane hit on Endeavor that took him out the fight. And I was like, oh, fuck. It's up. But then my boy Tokoyami and Down Girl, she came in, and they both went to fucking work. And I liked how it was like, oh, like, yo, I'm scared. Old girl was scared. She was actually scared. It was like, okay, now that I have this experience of this overwhelming pressure, this sense of bloodlust coming at me, I'm shaking, but she's still fighting. And they're not fighting for a long time, but it's a quick thing. You know, he tries to do the blast, old girl blocks it, she gets her fucking ear cut off, but she does a little Sean fucking attack. And a little plot, I ain't gonna lie, a little plot with old boy with All For One, where his fucking cursor fucking up on him, would let the girl get it. But then fucking Hawks kicks in with his fucking sword and gets an amplified sword slash with the fucking sound of it. Oh, this was so clean. This was so like a light speed samurai slash type shit. Oh, it was so nice. And then Tokoyami come with a Tsukuyomi punch. Oh my god, that shit was so clean. Oh man. And I was like, yeah, even the sidekicks are doing shit. Even the young students who some of the heroes are like, oh, I can't believe they had to help us. This is bad. They're making motion. They're doing shit. They're not just here to play catch up and play cover up. They're here to fight. They're here to win. Not like that, because it was like a Class 1A wouldn't have been a part of the fight like that. Like in the skirmish, Class 1A was in there because, oh, there's a lot of heroes when needed. I feel like even if most of the heroes stayed, I feel like Class 1A still would have been in the same roles because they are so liable and because they stood up for themselves and told these heroes that we're going to be in a fight. If Deku's in a fight, we're in a fight. And I love that. And we're seeing how these plans weren't just, oh, these people back up our big top guys. No, if our big top guys fell, we have a plan to not hold the enemy off, but to take the enemy out. It wasn't
bring Tokoyami to distract until Endeavor got back up. It was to beat him if Endeavor got down. I like how even though the plot thing happened, well, All For One and the course fucking up on him, he's just so powerful. He just said, fuck that, I'm taking back over. And he did just that. He started washing him. And I like when that happened, Endeavor fucking came in, damn near sacrificing himself, getting fucked up, didn't give a fuck, with a full new emotion. And I'm gonna tell you what I liked about Endeavor. And one thing I really don't understand with a lot of people when it comes to Endeavor, a lot of the fans hate Endeavor. I mean, they hate him. They've hated him since season 2 of the anime, and I get it, but they will still hate on him as he's learning and as he's changing and as he's trying to go and be a better person and atone for his sins. You know, it's just always been so weird to me how there's characters like Toga and Dabi and Shigaraki who the fans are like, oh, we love him, oh, da 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 da, but when it comes to Endeavor, oh, we hate him. And it's crazy to me because it's like, I get it, he did bad things, but so did the rest of the villains. The rest of the villains arguably did worse things. They're murderers, killers. It's terrible, and they do this shit without a hint of changing. They don't want to change, but it doesn't matter to the fans. They're like, oh, it doesn't matter. But when it comes to Endeavor, who has also done his fair share of abuse, he's trying to change, trying to be better, and he's still hit with backlash. It's like such a reality check, I would say. Because like, you see the fans of My Hero Academia, they still hate Endeavor even though they see him changing. Just like in a manga, now that people know what Endeavor's about, they hate this dude even though he's still telling them, yo, I'm not gonna give up and stuff like that. And I also don't, it's just, ugh. And it's just like, you can see it. You're still hitting on someone who is constantly trying to be better. It just never made sense to me. Endeavor's one of my favorite characters just because of his morality and how you can't just like throw away your past. And it's not gonna go away after doing 1 or 2 good deeds. But you can still change from your past. What you did doesn't have to define you. You can let it keep you down. You can keep going in that path. You don't have to. You can grow from it. You can learn. You can be better. You can acknowledge. And if you feel like it's too late for you, the people that is a part of your life, it's not too late for them. You can still make a better future for them. Those children are still growing. You can still guide them to a better path so they won't have to go down the same dark path that you went down. And I love that from Endeavor, especially when he first got knocked down. When he decided, okay, justice, morality, forgiveness, all of it, that is important. It is important. But at this moment with All For One, he needs to get back to his root. The fuel that fueled his fire, that made him want to be a hero, that made him want to fight villains, that made him want to get to All Might. He got so into wanting to defeat All Might, wanting to be better than him, that when he made his ultimate move, he realized how far he could get. He forgot what his root was, and his root was being weak. He hated how weak he was. He hated how irrelevant he felt. Like how his father tried to save a woman, and his father and the woman died to a villain because his father was weak, and so was Endeavor. Endeavor, it means hard work because he tries his best to work hard to not be weak, to surpass what people think of him. His biggest enemy, his biggest goal, his biggest drive was that he didn't want to be weak anymore. The only way for him to not be weak anymore is to surpass himself, going to another height every single time. But once he got to that ultimate move, he stopped and gave up on himself and went to the next project, Dabi and Todoroki. But now he remembers that fuel, that he is weak. So he has to be the one to be stronger than himself. It's not about Todoroki, it's not about Dabi when it comes to this power thing. He needs to defeat All For One with his power. He has a job he has to do. He needs to remember his roots, what started him. He needs to go back to old Endeavor, but not just old Endeavor, and brand new Endeavor. One that is taking both young and old Endeavor and doing a new path, so that path is full of bright fire and light for the new students, for the new heroes. And seeing him going crazy on All For One with that power, oh my fucking god. He said, fuck all that shit. When he fucking hit All For One to the ground, and everyone's like, oh, we should jump him. And then Kamen was like, oh no, we need to move. And this ain't no fucking, this is war, nigga. This is war. We fighting this bitch. And I love the fucking image when the dude is like, when heroes are injured, they look the scariest. And that pose, I know the anime fumbled it. I don't care. That shit looks so fucking clean, bro. Oh my fucking god. And then All For One fucking evolves, which is fucking crazy to me. And it's so insane.
Now that I've calmed down a little bit, the Ochako fight with Toga, well, it's still setting up, but I'm letting it build because so far I'm like, I've always kind of been like, when it comes to them two. Not because I'm just not interested, but it's just with Deku there. With Deku, okay, for a while, Deku was a part of the whole Toga, I love you, da 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 da. Every time they got into a fight, Ochako and Toga, whenever they got in a fight, it was all about Deku. Oh, do you like him? I like him, da 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 da. And I just don't like that. I hate it so much. There's so much more going on for the character than bringing in her love interest. So one thing I was very happy about is when Toga Togo's like, I don't care about that nigga no more. That's just raps. I'm like, thank God, I don't have to hear any more about this Deku shit. Cause oh my God, that brings it down. I don't give a fuck. You're talking when you're technically your arch nemesis, and it's always about your not even your man. It just brought it down. I did not like it at all. And I like Ochako. She might be one of my favorite characters, character development wise. So now I'm ready to see how it's gonna go now that Deku is finally out the picture. And it could just be Ochako and Toga. Now one fight I don't have to let build up is a fucking Shigaraki. Oh my fucking God, just remembering it gets me so fucking hyped. Like, okay, let's break it down, guys. So, oh boy, our boy Aozawa and Monoma, they're both like using their fucking abilities to stop Shigaraki from using any of his fucking shits. So, Shigaraki can't use none of his shit, just regeneration and his little fucking mutation. Reading it weekly was better than like binge reading it. Like I had way more of a fun experience because community. This is one thing I will give weekly readers. You have a community. So when something crazy happens, you get to enjoy it with other people. You know, typically you read manga, you're by yourself. You don't read it with someone. So if you're reading something like, oh, that's cool, you don't really have nobody that's right beside you. Be like, hey, did you get to this part yet? Or hey, did you see this? No, but you know, like if you're in a community after you read that chapter, you go online on Reddit or Twitter or Instagram or whatever you use. Everybody's gonna be as hype as you. And that's so amazing. Like a good example for me was when Gear 5 Luffy happened. I waited till like everybody was hyped about it, everyone was talking about it because there were some leaks, but nothing crazy. So I read the chapter that had one of the One Piece soundtracks playing the whole time during it. That chapter was so good, and as soon as I read it, I went online and YouTube and everything. It was just a great 2 weeks. It was a great 2 weeks of content and happiness and talking with everyone. And you only get that from a weekly experience. When you have something big happen in a manga and you get to do it with the community, that makes all the bad stuff that comes with weekly honestly worth it. So I understand the weekly readers. I really do. I love the big three really did their thing for me. I mean, I wish Muriel could do more, but like they said, Muriel going to do so much. She only has hands. But I love the way they did their combos with Nezure using her power to give Muriel like a strong punch, to punch Shigaraki, and then followed by my boy fucking Sun Eater with all of his fucking animals that he fucking eat, including the Nezure fucking power to shoot a fucking cannon blast. That shit was clean. It was clean. I ain't gonna fucking lie to you. That shit was fire as hell. And then let's not forget about my girl fucking Mirako. She was out here fucking scrapping, bro. She was scrapping. Oh my fucking God, she was out here. Dude, I like how like she was like, okay, I don't give for my body, bro. Give me another fucking new arm, and I'm gonna beat his ass. The art was so fucking nice, I'm telling you. The art is so clean so far. Like every big impact that's had very like Ooh, I had to look at the anime for some of these shots because they're so good. And I will admit, some of the shots don't hit as good as the manga. For instance, with Todoroki and his Ice Glacier attack. I can't remember what it was called, but Ice Glacier attack. It looks better than manga from my imagination just from how it was in the anime. Because in the anime, it was like a punch and then the ice. But to me, in the manga, the way I envisioned it was like the punch and the ice happened at the exact same time. Like it was a boom, you know, like as soon as the punch hit, everything turned into ice, or it was happening at the same time. Not as in I punched you, 2 seconds later, ice hits everything. I didn't like that. It felt like snow, you know. And it wasn't really, you know. Bakugo is definitely him. He's definitely like, I need to do this. This is my hands. I need to handle this. And not in a sense of like, oh, this is all on me, but in a sense of like, I had to do my part. But he also has that thing of like, he doesn't want to be left behind. Even though they're not saying it, we know it's still there. He doesn't want to be left behind. So he's doing everything in his power to beat this dude, right? Even when he uses Hot Weiser fucking blast, that shit was so clean, by the way. And everyone's like, oh, yo, he's smart, bro. And I like it. Like, I like how Shigaraki tried to not give him the dub of like, oh, you're strong. He was like, oh, you did such a cool blast that was like high maximum output, but not damaging the environment that's keeping me up here. So I gotta get rid of you. It was like a little slick little, like, you're good, but I'm not gonna give it to you, you know? Like, bro, you a hater. Shigaraki a hater, I swear to God. I swear to God he a hater. Dude, Bakugo waking up from death and like locking in and like he was like in a flow state. It was like adrenaline or flow state. He was so like locked in. He was thinking his brain was like, he was evolving at that exact moment. He was evolving. And the way he just like locked in, just went super speed, go over. I thought he was gonna get him. That nigga looked so clean with the little sparklies in his eyes sparkling like that. I like it. I love it. I can't wait for Bakugo to wake back up and get down with the hands, because that was so good. It was so fucking good. And I can't wait to see him get back up, because I know the ninja's going to do his fucking shit to revive him, which I don't like, and it is very much plot, because we have never heard anything about this ninja dude, but now he can fucking save Bakugo. That's so fucking plot. I don't give a fuck, but type shit is what it is. I won't be talking about Todoroki's fight just yet, even though it was so nice and I love the fucking fight. But Dabi's back up. He ain't done yet. And he got something glowing in his fucking chest. So shit about to go down. Shigaraki's still up. Alpha 1 is still up. And luckily, Deku just arrived. So shit's about to go back down. We're about to see the rest of these fights happen. I'm very excited. I'm going to save Todoroki until his fight fully finishes, because I know that family trauma is about to go crazy and I want to do the all-in-one video. So, you know, it's going to be the next video. I'm ready to get back into this war. I'm so excited. I'm having a great fucking time and I can't wait. Keep your heads up for more videos to come.